Ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening to be fought with three-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the cage with a mixed martial arts record of 3 victories, 1 defeat. Representing HAMMA, please welcome Tyler Jones. And his opponent, standing across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, enters tonight with a mixed martial arts record of 4 victories, 3 defeats. Representing Saul Rogers MMA Academy, please welcome Kacper Zasada. Our referee judges the action, Mr. Dean Weir.
Bantamweight action on deck here at FCC 18. Kacper Zasada in the black with red trim, taking on Tyler Jones in the red. Jones representing HAMMA, Zasada representing Saul Rogers MMA Academy. Both guys coming in from strong teams then, Jez.
Yeah, and both guys with a bit of experience in the cage, so I think you'll see that, well, you are seeing that both guys look fairly relaxed here in the early stages of this fight.
Jones just stepping around his man here, trying to set up something big. We've seen a nice jab from him and a nice low kick already.
But it is Zasada who's stalking his man, really controlling cage position, taking the centre point.
Just letting off a couple of shots there is Zasada. Looking very calm and collected here. 8th amateur fight for the young man from Saul Rogers MMA Academy. So as you say, just plenty of cage time already.
Yeah. It is Jones with his slightly unorthodox footwork.
Worth mentioning a slight amendment to the amateur rules we're used to seeing here at FCC. No knee strikes to the head anymore for amateurs, in keeping with the changes to the unified amateur rules. Of course, no elbows, no twisting locks allowed either, and just the 3-minute rounds for the amateurs. So these little periods of action and these little flurries all count for so much more on the scorecards for these amateur guys.
Yeah, but you know, still early on, nice head movement there from Jones. Both guys trying to still find their range. You know, this is a difference with guys having a bit of experience, neither rushing in, just taking their time, but a good exchange there, a good flurry.
Yeah, nice right hand on the end of that from Zasada, and he changed levels for the takedown. Already looking to pass the guard of Tyler Jones.
Yeah, a difficult position there for Jones. He's up against the cage, but he can use it as he did, using that to just press away, try and get some space. He's trying to regain that, if he can try and regain guard, he's trying to pull that knee out, but it is difficult. He's not got room to move there.
Looking to push off the cage with the flat of his foot there. Perhaps maybe better served trying to get his back on the cage and using it to stand up, but he's right there in his own corner, so no doubt taking instruction from Sean Martin there.
Yeah, and he's keeping busy off his back, isn't he, Jones? He's not on the defence at all. He's really being the aggressor here. He's got good arm control of his opponent.
Final 10 seconds of the round. As you say, Jez, both men staying active enough for the referee to be content to let this one play out. 1 round in the bag and fairly even up until that takedown, Jez, I think it has to be said.
Yeah.
Both men landing some crisp strikes on the feet, not a whole lot of action there, but the takedown and ground control from Kacper Zasada has probably swung that one his way.
I think so. There hasn't been a huge amount to separate these two guys, but some good action, a good pace throughout the opening round. But all to play for.
Absolutely. Plenty more great action to come here tonight. If you're joining us on our live stream on Go Fight Live, capped off, of course, by an incredible main event this evening. Ian Willie Williams taking on Tim Wilde. Wilde, of course, the former FCC European lightweight champion, making his debut tonight at featherweight, aiming to be the first man in FCC history to capture titles in 2 weight divisions. Of course, the FCC featherweight title last held by Paddy Pimblett. It really is a great stepping stone we've got here for amateurs and professionals looking to make that next step in their career.
Yeah, look, I mean, you make noise here at FCC, and that really does reverberate around the country, opens doors, and this is what these 2 fighters here will be looking to do tonight. Stamp their mark.
So many veterans of FCC gone on to compete in huge promotions around Europe and the world. EFC, Cage Warriors, BAMMA, ABC. Really is a fantastic platform for talent here in the UK and beyond. Kacper Zasada, Tyler Jones looking to follow in the footsteps of the likes of Paddy Pimblett, Martin Stapleton and more. Brett McDermott, former FCC amateur champion, he's got a world title fight coming up next month. 2 young men here looking to emulate past FCC stars.
Yeah, Jones just needs to be careful though as he's coming in, but a nice little combination there, finished off with a low kick. I'd like to see him work that jab a little bit more.
Yeah, Jones definitely rocking the heavy metal look, but how's that hair going to affect him as it starts to come loose and gets in his eyes and gets in his vision? We've already seen him swiping it out of his eyes. And as this fight wears on, it's perhaps a distraction he doesn't need.
But a good pace still here, both guys, good condition. They haven't let the effects of adrenaline dump take their toll. So both guys very active, good footwork from them both. But it's fairly even Stevens here. A nice left there though from Zasada.
Yeah, Zasada just seems to be a little more accurate with his shots at this stage. And again, level change into the takedown.
Yeah, it was nice. He set up through the strikes, dropped down low. Now he's got to work out of this position. He's going to want to get one of those knees down. Try and push that knee down. From here, his opponent has a lot more control, but wrapping him up.
There you heard the corner there asking him to regard. Using the cage now is Jones. Wants to get his back on the cage. Push off to stand up, but Zasada firmly clasping the hands behind the knees there and just sucking his base out from underneath him.
Yeah, and you've got to look in a fight where things are so close. This is absolutely critical. We saw it in the first round. Now 2 takedowns in the second.
As Zasada looking very content to just rack up the cage time here. Steps over into mount.
Yeah, and he's now in the latter deep stages, but scoring well here. Some good strikes, a good strong finish here in the second round from Zasada.
And we hear the corner there of Zasada saying you're 2 rounds up. I think I tend to agree with them. Obviously very confident that their man's ahead on the scorecards, but it becomes all the more critical at this point, Jez, not to let it slide, not to rest on your laurels.
No. Look, I mean, Jones has shown glimpses of what he can do, but for me, he's not engaging at the moment. He's not being proactive. He really needs to be the aggressor, and he's certainly got to do something here in the third before this fight slips away from him.
Well, he'll need a finish here almost certainly on the judges' scorecards. You have to think it's time to go for broke, take that all or nothing approach, and see if he can pull anything out of the bag.
But we've not really seen him seriously threaten Zasada at all, have we, so far? So he's got to pull something out of his bag of tricks if he wants to leave here with a win. We'll soon find out.
I mean, the runners-up trophies are nice as well, but
no one wants a runner. No one remembers a runner-up, do they, Brad? Maybe your mum does. She's got a collection of your trophies as a runner-up. I think.
Second place isn't bad unless you're in a fight.
Oh, exactly. Anyway,
back to the action, third and final round here at FCC 18.
You can see Zasada growing in confidence.
good head movement from Jones there. Bobbing and weaving, but he got caught by a left, and immediately Zasada pushing him up against the cage.
Yeah, it was a lovely little 1-2 combo there. He really has now found his range and starting to dominate this fight. He's a man from Saul Rogers' MMA Academy.
Briefly tried the whizzer throw there, and now back to defending the takedown. Needs to widen that base, but Zasada relentlessly chasing it. Another big takedown. And we saw Zasada that time keep his head right in the pocket there, didn't leave his neck in for the guillotine attempt, which he did in the first round, so good to see him taking instruction there from his corner, no doubt.
Yeah, and the main difference here is that this is right at the start of the round where we've seen him get his man to the ground. It's been at the latter stages. So let's see what he can do. So I'd like to see him progress forward, look to move out of this guard position. Got some good work. A high guard there from Tyler Jones.
The corner were asking him to close the guard, but really should be being active off his back from this point.
Yeah, I'd like to see the man try and get a position off the hip, use the spin, move round. Got to be careful here as he comes up. Almost got caught there.
And again, the corner asking for him to re-guard, but Kacper Zasada going to stay heavy on top here.
Yeah, it's difficult. He's got a nice position there. He could use that to push away, but due to being right against that cage, he's going absolutely nowhere. He's got to grind this one out.
Needs to get his back on the cage here and start working. There can't be too long left in the round.
Calls for a submission from Sean Martin. He knows his man's got to pull something out. He's got to look to finish this fight. That is looking more and more unlikely.
Going for the knee bar here. Came close with that one, but
almost had a commentator's curse Brad there.
Such a low percentage move. You do tend to give up position if you don't finish it. That's what we saw. Zasada finishing the fight on his feet, and I'm sure he'll end it with his hand raised.
Yeah, a tough fight for both guys, but I think it's clear Kacper Zasada dominant for all 3 rounds.
Yeah, on the feet early on, it looked fairly even. I did think Zasada was perhaps landing the crisper, cleaner punches. And as you said earlier, Jez, just not as aggressive a performance as we'd like to have seen from Tyler Jones there. And perhaps that's what he'll need to work on moving forward.
Yeah, he'll certainly reflect on this, take stock, learn, move forward.
Height is the center, please. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. With the unanimous decision, your winner in the blue corner, Kacper Zasada.